Hello, everyone. Hey, Mike. Fuck, he's not here. Damn. How am I gonna do a show without Mike? Let me see who I can find here. Hey, Boat.
Hi.
How you doing?
No,
Are you doing something right now?
I'm doing good.
Fair, you're in the show. Hey, Sam.
Yo. Nice to meet you. Wait, I got Muppet on.
I'm actually glad to be able to bring Zach Ford into the show. It's the first time we're gonna interact on a video call ever, so that's
God,
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like you
been a
set me
while.
up for that joke. It's we've talked online for 12 years, but never getting to see each other's face. And the whole time it's a privilege. To finally see what Nazario's beautiful jawline looks like.
Perfect. A little behind the scenes story, guys. When we were still Mike and me kind of floating around with the idea of we wanted to do something online. One of the first thing we talked about it doing in MRank was ranking Muppet stuff with Zach, and then later both. For one of those things that life happens and shit, we just never did it, and now we're 37 episodes deep, and now I decided, you know what, fuck it, 38 is gonna be the lucky number. So, since we have the Muppet Man and the Boat Man, today we're gonna rank something from the Muppets, but it's not gonna be the movies. It's not gonna be the Muppets. It's gonna be the top humans in Muppet movies. We're ranking shit again. Cool. We haven't done that in a while. So, this is how this works. The person with most ranking things starts. We don't have a set number, so everybody can rank however things he wants to rank. And then we go from the one with most to the one with the least. One by one. If you actually have something that it's on somebody else's list, just say samesies. And that worked out. So, let's get this ball rolling. Top human in Muppet movies. I have 13. How many you have, Zach?
84. 13. Wanted to have 84. 13.
Fair. Boat. How many you got?
I have 12.
There's always a lazy one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was told 7 to 12.
First release, there are no rules. Get with the program. Okay. So
You know what? Now I have 13 just for that.
Cool. That now it's a square show. I like it. I'm gonna start with my number 13. And for my number 13, I'm gonna cheat already. It's every prisoner in the gulag and Muppets Most Wanted. Everybody. They all work great. There's Danny Trejo playing himself. There's Ray Liotta. There's Jermaine Clement. There's Hornswoggle for the WWE. And Josh Groban singing from the Solitaire thing. It's a freaking great set of actors doing pretty goofy shit. But they're all pretty funny. So, you don't have anybody from the gulag, guys?
My 13 is kind of similar. Because Ray Liotta is in the gulag, right?
Yes.
Okay, can we just go to my 13?
Sure. Who is it?
My 13 is both times Ray Liotta shows up in a Muppet movie. Ray Liotta in Muppets from Space and also in the gulag. Because this isn't a good fella. This is a bad fella.
Ray Liotta's pretty fucking great. I think I have a quick image here. Isn't that gulag picture? But I'm gonna get boom.
Zoom in.
Muppets from Space. Yeah. I gotta ask a question about Ray Liotta for one point, and I missed it because I forgot his name because I couldn't get that stupid good fella, bad fella thing from my eye. So, good pick. Kind of a same sis, but not really. Zach, who's your 13?
I'm making an audible breaking news, changing what was my number 11 to 13 as in ranked dictates you must make sudden changes before
wait. When you decide to move your list after the show begins, that's a Henry. Call things by their name.
My number 13 is Hamilton. I'm just sure. My number 13 also appeared in 2 movies, and that's why I made the change to keep the rhythm of Boatman's. Mine is Elliot Gould. He doesn't do much, but I wanted to reward him because he has nice hair and appears in 2 Muppet movies.
Let me say it right quick.
He is the announcer of the beauty pageant in Muppet movie, and then the cop in Take Manhattan. So he's just a very involved in the community.
I think I actually have both. You said the first one he's a cop?
In Take Manhattan, he's a cop. I don't know if that is the exact one. I think like that's him a cop and something else.
Fuck. Okay.
We'll take it. We'll count it.
I did get this one.
Perfect.
That's from Muppet movie, right?
Yeah. He has a little more.
You just pick him because he has multiple movies?
Because there's multiple movies and I said nice hair. And I like to see his face.
Fair.
And pronounce his name. Gould.
So, moving into my number 12, I got Billy Connolly as Billy Bones in Muppet Treasure Island. He's only in a very short scene at the beginning in the bar when he's telling the story about the haunted treasure and don't trust the peg-legged man. But if it's anything, he's memorable. Nobody liked Billy Connolly. Come on.
Same thing. He's really good, but Treasure Island's a bad movie. And so I just decided to award none of it.
I thought we were doing this on Wednesday. So I was going to rewatch Muppet Treasure Island on Wednesday.
In Range was that important that Boatman needed to watch Treasure Island before that.
Well, because I honestly don't remember Muppet Treasure Island all that well.
You know what? Just watch it for fun because I like it. It's a good movie. May not be the best one, but it's actually pretty decent. So that's my 12. Boat, what do you have at 12?
My 12 is Quentin Tarantino as Quentin Tarantino in The Muppet Wizard of Oz. Yeah, it's Quentin Tarantino basically trying to make the Muppet movies Kill Bill and Kermit just being horrified. And I feel like that's just how Quentin Tarantino talks to everyone. And I kind of love that he's taking it very seriously.
I think that face alone makes it.
I considered putting this on my list because I love Tarantino. He's one of my favorite directors ever. But this movie is so trash. I just decided to leave it in a heap of forget about it. It ever existed. Zach, do you like Quentin Tarantino or do you like the Muppet Wizard of Oz?
It is the worst Muppet movie, and Quentin Tarantino is the worst Quentin. That's not true. It's low competition, but it's a fun scene. Literally forgot he was in that because I forgot Muppet Wizard of Oz was a movie.
In the Wikipedia, somebody put like Quentin Tarantino as one of the writers for this movie. Almost make me fucked up that in a question. Horrible. He's not responsible for writing this piece of shit. So, what's your 12, Zach?
My number 12 is my cheat, not the Gulag Gang, but I chose both Feist and Andrew Bird for the Muppets. You will maybe find a picture of Feist in it. She twirls and sings one line of Life's a Happy Song, and Andrew Bird doesn't actually appear in the movie, but he is the great musician that does the whistling that Walter does near the end of the movie, and everyone should listen to Andrew Bird and Feist as well. So I'm promoting their music by saying they're in the Muppets.
I have no idea who you're talking about. Bo,
I don't quite know who those people are.
You only know who Feist is? She's in the Muppets. She twirls and smiles. I think she's
Repeat her name
Mickey
again.
Rooney.
Repeat her name again, please.
Feist, F-E-I-S-T. She's either right before or right after Mickey Rooney in the montage.
Feisty.
Feist, no, why? F-E-I-S-T. She's Canadian artist.
I'm just gonna do a quick.
She's saying 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun, 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 dun.
Is she from the show? From like the Sesame Street show?
What are you talking about? I said she appears in the Muppet movie. She's a musician. She just has a 2-second cameo. You're not.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is all the pictures that I
Yeah.
see from that
Okay.
name are from the Sesame Street show. So I don't know if is
Oh,
that her?
she did 1, 2, 3, 4 on Sesame Street.
Is that her?
Yes, that is her.
Cool. There are no pictures of her from the movie. So
Is this
let's
show 50% us talking about it and 50% you looking up pictures in silent awkwardness?
dude, this is what is called vamping. You have to vamp, make it work. Okay, number 11. My number 11 is Myth. Carol Kane. She appears when you say the word myth, and she just says myth, and it's fucking hilarious. It's from the Muppet movie, the original one. Carol Kane, always been a funny actress, and she just somehow made this character memorable and made it work by saying one line and wondering about myth. So nobody has myth.
No, but she's one of our comedic geniuses of all time, and I love Carol Kane, and she's great in the Kimmy Show. It's a good pick. She's in my list of 82.
Carol Kane is.
Yeah, I know who Carol Kane is. Princess Bride, Scrooge, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I saw
Adam's Family Values.
Turned out to be a murderer.
For real?
Anyway.
She's not a murderer.
No. I said I thought I saw her on the street once, but it turned out to be a murderer.
I thought you were saying that breaking news, Carol Kane, murderer.
Scared me for a moment there.
Not yet.
What's your number 11, Bo?
My number 11. I have not watched this movie since I was 4, but I assume that Tim Curry working with the Muppets would be good. So, Tim Curry, Long John Silver, and Muppet Treasure Island.
Same sis. We'll talk about that later.
Stealing Cody's bit. Are you sure you're not Malcolm?
I said same sis, not yikes. It's not the same. Let's keep going. Zach, what's your number 11?
It's bound to get same seized, if not put way too low. It is Whoopi Goldberg as God, our leader, and It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas. Everybody's number 1 cameo.
I don't have that. Do you have that, Bo?
She's also in the Muppets.
She won an Oscar for It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas, which defied all rules because it was a TV release. So you should have seen it.
Is that the one where Kermit caused 9/11?
More or less.
No, because isn't that the one where like
it's Kermit's It's a Wonderful Life. He goes,
yeah. And you see a shot of the Twin Towers.
No conspiracy theory, Kermit for me.
And that movie was released after 9/11, so I hope jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Is it that?
Yeah. She's God helping out the angel played by what's his face?
I actually saw this movie. This is the one that has the Scrubs cameos.
There's a good. It's like 3 minutes long, a mini Scrubs episode. They should have called that Scrubs episode 38 by American Tools.
I mean, it's okay. Whoopi Goldberg, it's fine. I don't think she's that memorable or nor funny. So
I didn't really explain it, but I think she just has a lot of charisma, and so Whoopi Goldberg would make my list no matter what she appeared in. Except I forgot she was in the Muppets.
Big Sister Act fan here. Cool. My number 10 is Christoph Waltz in Muppets Most Wanted. Nobody?
I think this is one of the dumbest jokes in that movie.
I think it's a good joke, and it's just too small not that memorable. You can put. I think you should have at the whole answer put all the people who perform as the hosts in Muppets Most Wanted together. Saoirse Ronan, Selma
Fair.
Hayek.
But I actually really like the fact that Christoph Waltz, who's just an actor that I really, really enjoy, just showed up for this one scene because they were in Germany and he's just gonna dance with I just forgot the man's name. What is the Muppet's name? Damn it!
Now I'm forgetting and I talk about Sweetums.
Sweetums. Yes, and he danced with Sweetums. And then he's gone from the movie. But he's memorable. Oh shit, we lost the boat.
You just get
Wait.
too frustrated. Sean left.
Wait. Here it is.
Or
Fixed. So, boat. Why don't you have Christoph Waltz? She's a great actor.
He is a great actor. I think that joke is kind of dumb and goes on a little too long.
Oh, fair. So that's why I kicked you out, not that you dropped out of the call. I get it.
Yeah.
What's your number 10, boat?
My number 10 is Steve Martin in the Muppet movie.
Same
The
Z. Same Z.
Oh. Okay. I'm just going to get the picture and save it for later then because I don't have that.
That's a horrible opinion.
Yep, there we go. So that's the same sis, and we move 2. Zach, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is different director, Mel Brooks, for the Muppet movie. He gets to, play an evil scientist, and that's not Muppet movie. It's Muppets from Space, right? Oh.
No, it's the Muppet movie that Mel Brooks is in.
What am I? Okay. Yeah, so Mel Brooks in the Muppet movie, torturing the Muppets and, stretching out Gonzo who can take it. And it's a great bit. Or stretching, and it's a lot of fun. Mel Brooks, it's great to see you always.
I do not have this on my list. Do you don't have this either, Bo?
I do not also have that.
I actually think this is kind of funny. I kind of forgot about this one. This is what happens when you make lists like 20 minutes before the show or during the show sometimes. Yeah, probably this would have been in my list. I don't know if it would have been 10, but maybe 14. Anyway, cool. Mel Brooks, funny. Good night. My number 9. And my number 9 is from the great Muppet Caper, John Cleese.
Same.
Yikes! Or same.
Z's. Now you, oh Cody.
Hey, good shit. What's your 9, Bo?
Okay. My 9 is Tina Fey in Muppets Most Wanted.
Same Z.
Okay. I don't have her. A second. And that's the same seat for later. So what is your 9, Zach?
My 9, one of the first humans with a more major role, Charles Durning in the Muppet movie. Playing Doc Hopper as the villain.
Okay.
Did you say Doc Hopper? Charles Durning?
Yeah. Doc Hopper. Down your list.
It's the same, not on mine, but I think both said same sis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we move on. Damn. A lot of same sis lately. One with my number 8. My number 8. You guys like Star Trek?
No.
Because this guy, I think he got his big break in Insurrection. Insurrection's F. Murray Abraham as Noah in Muppets from Space. The one scene I actually like from this movie.
Good movie.
Why? Nobody had it?
No, definitely did not realize that was him.
Basically, this is the movie where they introduce the fact that Gonzo is actually an alien, and he has a dream at the beginning where he's dreaming like all the animals are going into the ark, and then Noah won't let him in because he's just a whatchamacallit, and there's nobody else like him. So if there's no pair, he cannot go into the ark. It's a little dark, but very funny.
I'm the saddest arc in all the Muppets. It's a good movie.
Also, you guys are lame. This guy is great. Bo, what's your 8?
My 8 is Everybody listen. He's Tex Richmond. Just how great it is to be him. Chris Cooper rapping, it's the greatest thing.
Yeah, should have had him on my list. Just once again making this an hour before the show and spent 5 minutes. So I miss people, but he's great. I like seeing Chris Cooper do dumb because he is master of making you feel sadness or romance or suspense in movies, but never really realized how funny it was until this.
Actually, I
Being
fucked up.
online,
I fucked up too. This probably would have been in my top 10. Kind of infuriating.
Okay,
It
we
might
both
be.
have to pick off two now. And
You know
put
what?
them
This is I'm pulling a Henry. He's my number 10 now.
on.
So what's your 8, Zach?
My 8 is. Am I still at 8? Okay, Dom DeLuise as Bernie the Agent. It might get a little higher than it deserves because he's the first human you see in any Muppet movie. So it's bringing us to the world, bringing us to that great swamp that Kermit is playing Rainbow Connection, and I think it's just a perfect scene, and that heightens how I feel about his role in it. But he's funny and gets some good lines in it as well.
Tom DeLuise.
There you go.
The favorite actor of Don Bluth in the 80s. I don't know what happened after a troll in Central Park, but he didn't work with him again. Funny scene. I appreciate the fact that you mentioned he's the first human you ever see in a Muppet movie, and he just goes up to Kermit and tell him he can be a star in Hollywood. That's great. Both. Why you hate Dom DeLuise?
I don't hate Dom DeLuise. I actually considered putting him on my list, but I didn't because I like Ray Liotta and Quentin Tarantino more.
Fair. So for my 7 now, I have Jim Parsons as Human Walter.
He's not technically a human because he's imagination.
Yeah.
He's Walter.
Imagine he's an avatar, or imagine avatar.
Whatever.
He's
Still Walter, and he's still human-like.
He's Walter's reverse Bitmoji.
I can agree that Jim Parsons is not completely human. Maybe he's weird, but he's there, and I have it on my list. It's a very short scene, but very, very funny. The first time you watch it, in actually a pretty great song that I think won the Oscar for best song. So
yes, it did.
am I a man or am I a Muppet? That's my number 7. What's your 7, Bo?
My 7 is Ty Burrell in Muppets Most Wanted.
Great pick.
No more questions. I think that's the best musical number in Muppets Most Wanted. Well, either that or we're doing the sequel. I really like we're doing the sequel. But yeah, Ty Burrell is like leaning into it heavily, and he's a lot of fun.
I honestly, I'm pulling another Henry. Yep. Ty Burrell is now my 9. I really like him, actually. The whole thing, like, from the first time that he interacts with Sam the Eagle and they're comparing badge sizes and they keep pulling out the bigger badges, it's fucking hilarious. And the fact that he was always in the right track about the lemur is always also very, very funny. This movie, to me, is probably one of the most underrated movies about the Muppets ever because something happened after 2011 and people just didn't feel like going to the Muppets anymore. And even though this movie is actually in some ways surpasses the 2011 one, maybe not in the nostalgia factor, but it's so good that you want to kind of push it up there. I actually have this in my top 4 Muppet movies of all time. Great flick. Everybody should watch it. Zach, why do you hate Ty Burrell?
He is the one that hurt me the most to leave off. He did make my short list, and if I didn't want to go with me thinking I'm real funny on a couple of these, he would have made my list. But said I had to put Feisty and Angry Bird.
Sad. I didn't ask for a short list. I just asked for a list. So who's your 7?
Okay, my 7 is the true best musical scene in Muppets Most Wanted, Celine Dion, because the joke works really well, but also it works better because it's supposed to be a parody of like sentimental musical scenes, and I definitely cried during this song and scene in the theaters with my now wife and a friend, and they both saw a tear go in my eye as Celine Dion and Miss Piggy sing a song about that involve green little piggies and pink little froggies, and then growing gay and old. And the fact that it was able to work on both levels. The power of Celine Dion, I think it would have worked the same without her. That you can cry and laugh at the ridiculousness of you feeling sad. Although I might be the only person that ever cried during a Muppet movie.
I completely agree. Again, very underrated film. What do you think about this one, Bo?
It's a good one. I kind of forgot she was in this movie, to be honest. And then I saw the picture, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that scene." I need to rewatch Most Wanted. I've not seen it since I was 14, and was too edgy for Muppets at the time,
This is the edgy Muppet movie.
and I didn't like it at the time.
Weird. Well, we're getting into the final stretch here. Number 6. My number 6 is Dave Grohl as Animal in the Muppets 2011.
That's a good one, actually.
Short and fucking sweet. The
Just for
Muppets,
this picture.
the Muppets are low key kind of stealing the movie for a while there, especially Miss Poogie. I love her when she just comes back out later like, I said that I'd be back, so now I'm back.
She out.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, he's part of that band. He's the drummer, so he's Andy Moore, which is actually pretty hilarious. And yeah, he doesn't have a single line in the movie yet. Very fucking memorable. That's my 6. Vote. What's your 6?
My 6 is John Cleese in the Great Muppet Caper.
Still same seed.
Still same exist. I might have lost the picture. Cool. So what's your 6, Zach?
My number 6, same seed from earlier, was Tina Fey for Muppets Most Wanted. We're just going to get all our Muppets Most Wanted talk out now. So I can start the moment and go, but I think the Big House song is underrated, and I think it's because she sells it well. Being able to not have a great voice but pull off all the jokes, so it makes it worth it. And I like getting introduced to the Gulag. It's an interesting place, and she was just able to add some zag to that environment. So
I actually think she's pretty good in this movie too, but I think she gets a little overshadowed by everybody else in the Gulag. I do love the joke about when she's like doing her like threatening exit and they turn out the lights really early and she just falls down. That's actually pretty funny. And yeah, I think the fact that she wants a successful play to be mounted by all the prisoners in the Gulag is also pretty hilarious. Why don't you like Tina Fey, Caleb?
I had it on my list.
All right, you did. Fuck.
Why don't you like her enough?
Yeah, why don't you like her enough?
Because I like Tex Richmond and Ty Burrell, which you both agreed you should have put on the list, but you forgot about them. So I guess because I'm not forgetful.
Cool. My number 5. Boom. I got Charles Grodin as Nicky Holiday in The Great Muppet Caper. This man put the moves on Miss Piggy, but he really loved her.
So you're involved in the romance. That's why.
It kind of got me. I know he's the bad guy and he just wants to steal some of the jewels from his sister, but then he falls for Miss Piggy and he doesn't want to hurt her but yet he must. And the performance, the acting, it's just something that goes so deep. This is actually also an underrated movie. It came after the Muppet movie and it got very overlooked by the inferior Muppet Take Manhattan movie. This one is better. So rewatch this one, guys. Pretty great. Why you guys hate Charles Grodin?
Because he ran over my dog.
Oh, that's my reason too. Real weird.
He needs to get out of his truck. Driving a PT Cruiser. Who does he think he is? Jesus.
Weird. What's your
Here's
5? Bo?
Jesus, and my dog would be back to life. So
Give me the 5, Bo.
My 5 is Michael Caine in Muppet Christmas Carol.
Same, sis.
okay.
Moving on.
That is also my number 4.
What's your 5, Sad? Don't skip ahead.
I mean, that's my number 5. My list is all over the place. It looks like a maze.
So
So my
it's
number
also your
5
fifth?
is Michael Caine.
Well, I don't have that as I have it higher, so screw you guys. I'm going
Okay.
again. I'm gonna go with my 4. And my number 4, jumping around from the Muppets to Sesame Street. Mandy Patinkin as Huxley in Elmo and Grouchland.
I forgot this was eligible.
This
Okay, the Henry
is
thing.
the one you're most upset about.
Now my 7. Now it's my 7.
Fair. Huxley is freaking hilarious. The song about everything he touches mine. It's very catchy. The touch is mine. And also that he tries to steal Elmo's blankie, not because he wants a blankie or he needs a blankie, just because he touched it and it makes it mine. He's so goofy and hilarious in this movie, which is actually a pretty underrated Sesame Street movie. I really like Elmo in Grouchland. Both just put it at 7. Zach, why you hate Mandy Patinkin?
I never saw this movie.
Fucking should. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty great.
That was mine like old man. It came out when or for you. It came out when I was 12 and I was too cool to go see it. It was in that dark period of pre-teenage.
I guess I skipped puberty or something because I was never too cool for the Muppets. Bo, what's your 4?
My 4 is samesies from earlier, Charles Durning in as Doc Hopper in the Muppet movie.
Do you still have it higher, Zach?
Nope, he same seed it. I had it at 8.
Oh, okay. So let me get the picture.
I think this might be my favorite villain, or no, second favorite villain in any Muppet movie. I think he's a lot of fun. I just think it's so silly that he is asking a frog to be the mascot for Frog Legs. I think that's like just a lot of fun. And I think he's so over the top and he's clearly taking it seriously and having so much fun with it. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, he knows the movie he's in, and it's great watching someone do a Louisiana accent. It's just always enjoyable, especially with frog legs. Also, I kind of support him, and there should be a frog leg restaurant. Sorry, Kermit.
I actually think he was the original bad guy for the Muppet movies, and he deserves some respect. So, you know what? Fuck it. Henry's in my number 12 now. Top 13.
Did you say Henry is in your number 12?
I'm going to put him in 12.
So then another one moved down.
I like the other people better, but still, he deserves a mention. So he's on my 12, and he's now the only one that is on everybody's list. Woo! I think.
So
I don't know. I keep forgetting what we're doing. Zach, who's your 4? I think it's a same seat for before, right?
No, my number 4 is John. Oh, it is same seat. John Cleese.
Oh, shit. We also have John Cleese. He's on every list. Woo!
John Cleese has the second best bit, because I'll get to the best bit in any of the Muppet movies, with him having such a overly polite dinner with his wife while acting like the pig and frog in their house is normal and tries to be respectful and gives them recommendations for a restaurant. And the bit could have been done better by anybody else. It's a perfect mashing of Monty Python humor into the Muppets, and it was great.
Exactly. I love the fact how he just he's not even sure about the name of the restaurant, and he starts asking his wife Dorcas, like, Dorcas, here, do you remember that place with this and this and this? Oh yeah.
It's more like a supper club.
It's more of a club, more a restaurant. Yeah, that is fucking brilliant. Both you also had John Cleese.
Yeah, it's the perfect like straight face silliness that John Cleese is perfect for.
There. So 2 in a row we both have. This is turning out great. My number three. My number three is from earlier. The same seas. Tim Curry. Long John Silver. So no list for you, Zach?
No, because once again, I don't like Muppet Treasure Island, so I wasn't going to support anybody in it because I wish that movie.
You
I
suck,
don't wish
sir.
it didn't exist. I just other people love it, and I don't want to feel bad about not being able to love it.
This man chews the scenery like nobody else's business. And he makes one of the most interesting cases for Long John Silver as a main villain in a movie. I really like his style. I really like his goofiness. And he makes it work. Even the part where he's trying to also put the moves on the pig because everybody seems to like Miss Piggy, Miss Benjamina Gunn in this movie. And he's also so likable and charming that even though he's the bad guy, you still kind of hope he gets away with it a little bit. Great character. Both, you haven't seen him forever, but you put him on your list.
Yes, it did.
Good thoughts.
I didn't put it on because I thought that, like, oh, I love his performance. I did it because I was just like, I assume Tim Curry in a Muppet movie is kind of a perfect match.
And you were right. What's your number three?
My number three is Ricky Gervais in Muppets Most Wanted as Dominic Bad Guy.
Muppet is bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Jesus, man.
I'll pronounce his last name how I'd like to pronounce it.
And Nazario's wrong too. Anyways, it's Bad G.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is the picture? Okay. So no, not for you either, Zach.
No, I didn't have it because I think I underrate his performance because I feel like this every time I watch Muppets Most Wanted is that oh yeah, Ricky Gervais is real great in this movie, but then just the outer reputation of Ricky Gervais starts to cloud my memory of that sometimes. He's great.
I do think he's pretty great in the movie as Constantine's number two. But my favorite scene, and I was trying to get a picture for it, I couldn't get it, is when he reveals himself as the lemur in a lemur suit.
Spoilers for the many people that haven't watched Muppets.
I mean, everybody who's watching this deep has better fucking watch all the Muppet movies.
It's a very insane twist of the Muppets Most Wanted you just threw out there.
Yeah, the twist that Dominic Bad Guy is a bad guy. I'm sorry, Bad Guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
how do you know he's a bad guy? His name's Bad Guy.
Zach, what's your number three?
My number three is the perfect human Muppet. That is Amy Adams.
Same.
Okay.
MCs. I actually, this is a real point. I had Amy Adams because she is so sweet and she just really deserves like to be her recognition, wherever you can get it from. Sadly, I also decided to cut my list into a shorter list. Nobody asked me to, I just did it. And she ended up being the one that paid the price. But it's the same thing for you guys, so we'll talk about her anyway. Number two for me, it's same sis from earlier. Mr. Michael Caine in Christmas Carol. Who had this one too?
I also had it.
I did as well. It was everybody's list. Charles Durden,
Yay!
Michael Caine.
There's a third one, I think. You guys go first. Why you love Michael Caine?
Michael Caine really helped create the tone of Muppet Christmas Carol that I think helped it step beyond just being kind of a novel experiment by putting Muppets in classic literature, and making it just really work because of how serious he takes it. He can fit in any other Christmas Carol movie doing the exact same performance. He is not being cut off tone by having puppets around him, but he does what he needs to really to have some best in this classic story, while the Muppets are there to tell the jokes, and his seriousness makes it all a bit funnier as well.
You know what, Zach? Joke's on you because you're right. If this movie hadn't come out and been as successful, they would never have made Treasure Island, which you fucking hate.
Yeah.
Boatman, you like this one?
Yeah, he's on my list. I think it would be weird if I had him on my list and I did not like him. But I think Michael. Yeah, he's like generally considered like best Ebenezer Scrooge, I think, or at least top. Like I think most people would say it's like him, George C. Scott,
Mr. Magoo,
Uncle Scrooge.
Great joke landed there.
Scrooge, that is true. Scrooge McDuck.
I think Scrooge McDuck is a superior Mr. Scrooge, but fair. Yes, this movie, like Zach said, benefits from the fact that he acts like the movie is a serious film. This is him doing his best to do Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, no matter the fact that Muppets are present, and that completely helps the thing. When both Statler and Waldorf show up as the Marleys, he would probably should be laughing his ass off, but no, he takes them seriously, and they scare the shit out of him. So that's pretty great. Good pick for me, and all of you for taking it on your list too. What's your number 2, Boat?
My number 2, I cheated. Amy Adams and Jason Segel as Gary and Mary in 2011's The Muppet. Because I realized I didn't have Jason Segel on my list, so I just slotted him with Amy. But I think they are part of why this movie works so well. They are just having so much fun. I think Amy Adams is just incredible in this movie, and I think Jason Segel, he wrote the movie. He is part of what makes that movie work so well.
I have Amy Adams as the best actress of 2011, according to my database, best supporting actress. So she should have won the Oscar because expressing joy, just pure joy, is as important as any other thing you can do in movies, and no one did it better than her. Jason Segel, I think, gets outshined by her, but he, wrote it and brought it back, and it's his spirit in the movie. He's just not the performer that Amy Adams is.
I'm gonna pull a Henry and shoot her up all the way to number 5 because I made a mistake by taking her out, and I'm gonna apologize to her by putting her 5, and not Jason Segel, just Amy Adams. She's fucking great, and the woman deserves some recognition anywhere she can get it. She probably should have won an Oscar by now, which she hasn't.
For the Muppets.
And yeah, the way she sings "Party of," I think it's "Party of One." That's the name.
Party.
Pity Party.
Which should not work because that joke of her doing disco moves in the diner is real cheesy, but she pulls it off with such sincerity that it's funny to watch her do disco moves.
I think that's the thing. I think she's so sincere in her performance that you can't believe her being in a Muppet movie because she already made us believe her as a princess from a cartoon to turn into a real person. No, who else can pull that shit out?
Especially with a cartoon, she could do this.
Number 2.
My number 2, same from earlier. It's no longer same seat because we've grown up in this past hour. It's now samest, like an adult. It is Steve Martin. This is my favorite bit in any Muppet movie. Once again, slapstick humor sometimes come off real dumb, but no one can pull it off better than Steve Martin as this kind of curmudgeon waiter and patient with Kermit and Piggy there. And just he walks in and is wearing shorts for no reason. It's just those crazy Steve Martin choices to just do Steve Martin, and he just completely takes over the movie for 5 minutes, and it's perfect. And reminds me, what a legend he is.
I don't kind of love it. I think it's a little. He does have that thing where he takes over movies, and I think sometimes it works really great, like in Little Shop of Horrors. But in this one doesn't. I don't know. Something didn't grab me. I think he was being a lot of a jerk, and it worked for a bit, but not like for the full segment. So, eh, not
Look
not
at
for me.
those thighs and rethink whether he should be on your list.
Bo, do you like Steve Martin in the Muppets?
He was also on my list. He's very good. It's Steve Martin. He's a comedic genius in general. So yeah.
His funniest movie is Bowfinger. I lost the debate on that.
Because that's a dumb choice.
Yeah. His-
So, yeah, I was arguing against planes, trains, and automobiles, so that was pretty stupid. So, number one, guys, top of the heap, the best thing that ever happened in Muppet movies, but wasn't a Muppet. With my number one, we have Orson Welles as producer Lou Dobbs. Wait, not Dobbs. Lou Lord, sorry. Lou Lord, the producer who the Muppets travel all that way to in the first movie to see. And when they pitch themselves to it, and he just comes back and says, give him the standard, rich and famous contract. That's a legend right there with a cigar. Love it. Why you guys hate Orson Welles so much you didn't even mention him on your list?
I had him on like my short list, but I took him off.
I think the funniest thing about him in it is the fact that he is in a Muppet movie, which is almost enough to put on the list. But I mean, it's a great scene, but it's not because of him. It's just the fact it's him.
He also was the voice of Unicron in Transformers, the movie. So I don't know what the hell was happening with Orson Welles in his life, but it was weird. Bo, número uno.
My number one. I know your whole story. It is Peter Falk in The Great Muppet Caper. I think this is like maybe my favorite bit, like favorite scene in any Muppet movie. Is Peter Falk coming in and like just completely like doing his Columbo shtick, but completely being way off and talking about shoe stores and laundromats. And it's one of the funniest bits in it. And then Kermit's reaction of just, that's amazing. You are 100% wrong. I mean, nothing you said has been right.
It's like I said before, it's a pretty underrated movie. I do enjoy this bit. And yes, he's definitely playing Columbo here. It's a very memorable scene. And you know what? Henry Adam 15. It's fucking great.
I'll Henry him too at 14, just because Bowman described it well, and I liked watching him reenact the joke.
Great pick. So we have Orson Welles and we have Peter Falk. Who do you got for us to close this out, Zach? Number one.
To capture, the spirit of the Muppets, this is the best answer. I'm glad I was saved for last, and that is myself, Zach Ford, because I am captured in the spirit of all the Muppets. They all represent different parts of me, and why you can love as a child, because you can see yourself through these goofy characters and learn to have fun with the world. So thank you, Jen Henson, for developing something about myself. I'm really concerned about what Nazaro's going to do with this bit.
He fucking left. You know what, Fair? You're the Muppet man. You're the Muppet guy. What am I gonna say? No to you. You're the best Muppet in the Muppet Man. I like it.
Thank you.
So, both left. I guess he did not appreciate your bit.
No one appreciates my bits. Only Lucas, Showbach, and my mom.
Fair. That's it. Thanks everybody for watching. If you have watched, Boat, I don't know, he left. Is he here? Is he not here? Nobody knows.
Oh, no, okay. The ghost came back.
Thanks, Boat. Thanks, Zach. Everybody, if you actually watch this shit. See you next time. Don't cheat at online